Not an unboxing, but an 8-week review of the Red Sea Reefmat 250. And it's rather good. The Reefmat is well packaged. The instructions are really easy to follow. You can find some Red Sea tutorials on YouTube. And my first impressions are it's well made and there's few parts to assemble. You were seeing in my last video comparing the filter socks to the Sea 3000. So I've decided to upgrade this tank, take out the filter socks, and you can just see there, that's the base. So I'm gonna plumb that in. So the problem I've got, the downpipe is here. I'm gonna have to cut the downpipe here and then glue on some pipe work there, some flexible piping, and then it will go into here. I'm not the best at DIY. So we'll see how we get on, and I'm not going to take the pipe work out. I want to keep the pipe work in place, because you start dismantling this is old pipe work, so there's a good chance if I undo that from the top of the base of the display, it's going to crack, because that happened to me once before on a different tank. So I'm going to have to cut that whilst it's in there. I already have the Red Sea app, so it's really easy for me to set up. You set up the new tank, you had the flexibility to put the inflow pipe on either the left or the right hand side, and then you press a few buttons and you're away. If however you're setting up for the first time, again there's online tutorials on YouTube, but it was fairly easy when I first did it on the Red Sea Max Nano Peninsula. There are some really good features within the app. Some you just set up and use, and others you'll find that you'll navigate through the app from time to see what's going on. So to begin with, you can see how much roll is used every day, and you can click to see every week and also every month. Now that may sound a bit gimmicky, but I'll come back to it a little bit later on as how that has helped me. You can also set the maximum length that it moves for any one time. So the shorter it rolls, the more often it will, and the longer that you set it for, the less often it will. Now, why is that important? I suppose if you have it in a living area, the roller can be a bit noisy with the motor, and therefore it doesn't interfere with your day-to-day life. Mine's in the garage, so I've set it at between 3 and 3.5 centimetres. It makes any difference to me. You can also set it so that when it runs out, it sends you a notification. So basically, when it's running low, I've got a notification for 7 days, and that gives me ample time to buy another roll. And last but not least, you've got a roll history, and that will just show how long each roll has lasted. So here we have it. The Reefmat is in position. All in all, it took me probably about an hour, and most of that was faffing around with getting this sorted out, cutting the pipe to length. It was pretty simple, to be fair. The instructions were good. Everything you needed was enclosed, like the silicone, because what you would do here, I used silicone on that, you see the white piece there, and to be fair, that came with the kit. I must admit I would have been a bit peeved if I'd had to gone out and bought some silicone or some PVC glue just for that. You only need a really small amount. I let it set for 2 hours, whether that's enough or not, only time will tell. I decided to go that way in the end, rather than using this fitment, so this fitting, so that fitting would have gone kind of there instead, which means it would have been lower down and it would have been a sharper turn on the pipe. Got to get a skimmer in there, so I've got the NIAS 120. I'm hoping that will go in, as that's going to be a real pain, because not so much a skimmer, but I use an O2 scrubber. So overall, really easy to set up. I'm not going to go through the instructions or anything else. There's enough, how-to videos, unboxing videos, but yeah, nice and easy. For the first week, the roll was anything from about 7 to 10 centimetres per day. And then after about a week, it went down to 4 centimetres a day. And I'm thinking, it's got to be using more than that, given the particles in the tank. And with the Sea 3000, when I set that up in a DD tank, that went through the first roll fairly quickly. So something isn't right. So I then thought about flow. So the pump I got in this tank was 7 years old, and the flow's not that much, but did what it needed to do. And I just changed over the S2 Vectra out of the 900 and put the M2 in, so I had a spare pump. So I decided to take a look, and the Reefmat, you can have flow up to 3,500 litres per hour. The S2, you can have 5,300 litres per hour. So definitely the two will match. So I've decided on 22%, and the flow should be around 1,166 litres per hour. Probably a little bit less given the pipe. So I switched over to that, and if I look at what's happened the last month, it's gone up to 30 centimetres per day, beginning to go down to about 25, 20, and I think that's much better. So the water clarity looks a lot better. There's a lot less particles, but I think the thing you got to worry about now is the tank now going to be too clean? There's a bit of a fad going on at the moment about dosing coral snow, and I've been dosing coral snow on and off for a while. And coral snow you put into the tank, and it helps the corals because it tries to stimulate and simulate what's in the ocean, where there's constant coral snow and particulates for the corals to feed on. And I'm thinking, if I remove everything from the water column, is it going to starve the corals? So I think for now I'm going to keep it as it is, keep an eye on the nutrients because I test them every week, and see how it goes. So I hadn't really thought about how important the flow is in the Reefmat 250, but you need to kind of dial it in to make sure you've got sufficient for it to take enough water in and for it to clean the water. And I suppose if it's really, really high, you're potentially cleaning it too much. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of months. So overall, I really like this product. I think it's well built. I love the app. And if you're looking to reduce the amount of maintenance you do on your tank and also maintain and control your nutrients, then this can definitely help. But there is a couple of buts to it. There's no substitute for testing, because you can be over filtering the water and taking out too many nutrients. And I think certainly if you're using it in the first 12 months of your tank, that is where potentially a tank is more unstable and you haven't built up the biodiversity, and you could end up stripping out nutrients from the tank, and then they bottom out, and then you have all kinds of problems with your corals stripping, your corals being starved, and also it then could drive cyanobacteria or could drive dinoflagellates. So I think there's something to think about there. And I think also it's important to dial in the flow, so you're taking out the amount of water that you and the nutrients that you want to. As for the price, in the UK it's £299, and also in the US it's $329. So that's not cheap, but you're going to weigh up the convenience that it will give you, better control on your nutrients if they're high, and also I think it's actually being closer to your tank. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, then please give me a thumbs up, and why not subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and also an update on one of the 3 tanks that I've got. So bye for now.